I don't know if that happens to you. It probably does, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching on this cricket channel. But sometimes when you look at players or when you read about players, it just strikes a chord in you somewhere and you say, I want to follow this player. I want to see a little bit more of this player. And sometimes I actually sit down and write down names. I make notes. And at the end of 2024, I made a list of people that I liked following and who I would really look forward to in 2025. Some of them are very young, some very inexperienced, some are breakout players this year. So I'll share my list with you, and I would urge you to make a similar list yourself. It just allows you to follow the game better. And at the end of this blog, I'll tell you about the 5 breakout players who I think are going to become major stars of our game if they already aren't. Right, so let's start with Afghanistan. There's this left-handed top-order player who's just piqued my attention. Look at the scorecard, he's scoring runs. He's not the youngest, he's 23 years old. He made his T20I debut some time back, but now I don't know what it is about Sadiqullah, the left-handed top-order batter. I'm going to be following him a lot in 2025. I like the little bit that I've seen of him, as indeed of this new spinner called Allah Ghazanfar. Afghanistan just seemed to have a factory, a production line. There's so many of them. You look up the leagues and there's a spinner from Afghanistan who's doing well. But Allah Ghazanfar, I'm looking forward to seeing him in the IPL as well. So among all the many bright talents coming from Afghanistan, these are the 2 that I'm quite excited about. Now, our neighbors on the east, Bangladesh, are throwing up some very good players. I like the look of Tanzim Hassan, the fast bowler. I think he's a better cricketer than he's on social media, so Bangladesh just keep him away from social media. And Tawhid Hriday. I look at him and I think he's capable of scoring more runs than he already has. There's something about Tawhid Hriday where I'd like him to get a little more consistent. But the 2 names I've picked from Bangladesh have that little quality about them. One of them is super fast. He's got something that very few have, and that is pace. And I'm very keen to see how Bangladesh develop Nahid Rana, because he's got something that very few have. So really excited about Nahid Rana, and I loved what I saw of Hassan Mahmood. I think he uses conditions very well. He's versatile. He's got the outswinger. He can be nippy as well, but he strikes me as being a clever bowler. So even though there's so much of other talent coming through, I think the 2 people I'll be looking forward to from Bangladesh in 2025 are these 2 bowlers, Hassan Mahmood and Nahid Rana. Let's go south then. Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka, I've thrown up quite a few players. Matisha Patirana, Asita Fernando, so many of them. I don't know if I can include Pathum Nisanka in that list because he's been around, but I think he's a mighty talent. And Kamindu Mendes. I mean, you cannot have a list without Kamindu Mendes and the kind of numbers he's thrown up this year, the kind of performances he's delivered this year. Pathum Nisanka, Kamindu Mendes. And I really do hope that Sri Lanka developed these 2, because over the last few years, there are so many batters I've looked at with excitement and I just haven't seen them after that. There's another spinner who's coming through. Pramod Jayasuriya plays one form of the game. I love watching Vella Lage, and I think he can be just be that all-rounder. But again, as I said, with Sri Lanka, I'd love to see these players ascend to the next level. Sometimes the talent stagnates there. So come on, Sri Lanka. I'd love to see all these players. But the 2 that I've picked are Nisanka and Kamindu Mendes. Then to our west, Pakistan. 2 players stand out. Saim Ayub. For a long time, he wouldn't get picked because Pakistan had Rizwan and Babar at the top of the order. The last time a player excited me like that was Fakhar Zaman. And I know there's a bit of turmoil going on around him as well. So Saim Ayub is the person I'm looking forward to from there. I know Pakistan likes Saud Shakil a lot. But when I saw another young player end of last year here in Australia, where I am at the moment, I just thought he can bowl. And he definitely can bat. More batter than bowler, but he's some player. And I'm very happy to see that it started being reflected in the numbers. And there's Salman Agha. And I think you're going to see a lot more of Salman Agha. I only hope that he doesn't sort of just fade away like a couple of players, like a couple of gifted spin bowling all-rounders have in recent times. Not going to names just now, but these 2 really excite me. There's an exciting bowler who's come through, Sufyan Muqib. I don't know how far he's going to go. I'll be honest, I've not seen enough of him, but I just look at the scorecard and his name pops up every time. So that's another name to look forward to in Pakistan. Now let's move further. Australia. Normally you think of Australia and you think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm thinking, who's the young fast bowler that's catching everyone's eye? Is it going to be Lance Morris? Is it going to be Spencer Johnson? Is it going to be Xavier Bartlett? Are they setting the world on fire? Who's the next young batter coming through? Maybe Sam Constas, who's just been picked to play the Boxing Day Test as I record this. But I ask my friends in Australia, who's the next exciting young talent coming through? Josh Inglis, maybe? So that's one player to watch for. What can you imagine? Here's a team that's doing well, and I can't find someone to excite me next year from Australia. So let's move on. England threw up many fine young players this year. Shoaib Bashir, Jamie Smith. I like Matthew Potts, actually. I talked to people about him. Matthew Potts, I think, is a little down the pecking order. These 3 or 4 players did very well. But the ones that I find very exciting are Harry Brook, of course. I think he's cut from a different cloth. And I'm going for someone who's not going to play test match cricket by the look of it, but gee, he's some player. So the 2 that I've picked from England as the players I want to watch out for are Harry Brook and Phil Salt. As I said, I'd love to watch Smith and Atkinson and Shoaib Bashir, but these are the 2 that I just look at and say, oh, as I said right at the top, something about them. New Zealand. What a player Rachin Ravindra is going to be. For him now, it's just a question of controlling the flow, controlling all that he can do, channelizing it, not letting the river overflow its banks. So I like Rachin Ravindra, and I was mighty impressed with Will O'Rourke. I feel the same way about Kyle Jamieson, I must hasten to add, but and then tall, big, fast bowlers are injury-prone. But Will O'Rourke, not just a fast bowler, comes and bangs it in short. He can bowl full. He can bowl quick as well. So the 2 names I've picked from New Zealand are Rachin Ravindra and Will O'Rourke. Then the West Indies. I look at the West Indies and I think, where's the next big fast bowler coming from? Where's the big new attacking batter going to come from? Who's the hard-hitting all-rounder? And so many names in West Indies. They just come and go and you say, but hang on, where were they? Remember Kyle Mayer and Nkrumah Bonner, that great chase in Bangladesh? I see Kisi Karti coming up, but I don't know if there's enough of them to get excited and look forward to with glee. Shamar Joseph, really look forward to seeing what he has to offer. But if I had to pick one name from the West Indies, that's Jayden Seales. You see his action is a beautiful bowler. And I just hope they look after him again. Alzari Joseph was another bowler, but I just think Jayden Seales is the name to watch out for from the West Indies. 3 names for me from South Africa. I haven't got Marco Jansen because we saw him a little earlier too. Kyle Verreynne. I look at where he scores his runs, when he scores them. Players like Kyle Verreynne or Ryan Rickleton, another player who's scoring runs up there. But I looked at 2 players and I thought, whew, Kwena Mafaka came out of under-19 cricket, and here's a kid, left armer, he bowls sharp. I mean, I saw Kagiso Rabada play at under-19 level, and please, I'm not saying Mafaka is going to be another Rabada. If he does, fantastic. Just line up and applaud. But there was something about Rabada then, and it's the greatness of Kagiso Rabada, that he carried it very quickly into international cricket and became the mega star that he is now in international cricket. But Mafaka's following that path. I just like Kwena Mafaka, and I'm a big admirer of Tristan Stubbs for reasons that I've often articulated. He's a gun in the field. He can keep wickets. He can bowl off spin. He can bat top order. He can destroy an attack in T20 cricket. He can go in Test cricket. He can play a different form. And I just love Tristan Stubbs. He's one of my breakout players, by the way. So those are my 2 names from South Africa, Mafaka and Stubbs. And finally, India. So many, especially because I'm looking at all format players. But there's 3 left-handed batters I could not take my eyes off this year. Yashasvi Jaiswal. We've talked about him a lot. He's going to do much more. But Yashasvi Jaiswal, across formats I'm talking about, Abhishek Sharma. I don't know if he wants to play too much of red ball cricket, but what he's done in T20 cricket, first in partnership with Travis Head, then in in glimpses, but breathtaking glimpses with Sanju Samson. He's finished the year at a ridiculous strike rate of what, 189, 190 or thereabouts. So he's my second, and my third, and I've been looking at him for a year and a bit, couple of years in fact, and he's starting to look the complete package now, is Tilak Varma. He's the one I think will become, as Rohit Sharma said last year, he's going to become a proper multi-format player. I just hope that he continues to be a good fielder, becomes even better, and he starts bowling a little bit more too. So those are my players too that I'm excited by. I'm going to be looking forward to in 2025. Look, who out of these are the 5 players that I feel are going to illuminate our cricket world, are going to light it up, are going to go to different grounds around the world and make people like me go, wow, what a player. They've had a great 2024, most of them, but I think there's so much upside left to them. Yashasvi Jaiswal, Avery Brook, Rachin Ravindra, Tristan Stubbs, and Kamindu Mendes. These are the 5 that I have picked. Make your pick, but do this list. It's great fun.
So thank you for watching and do subscribe to this channel.